So if you guys have seen any of my Gen 3 videos so far, you've probably heard me complain at least once per video about how I cannot fit my former boot between the shift lever and the foot peg. So Rocky Mountain ATV sent me their longer shift lever to try out. I'm gonna install this on the bike tonight and we'll take it for a ride. It's still gonna have the same folding action that the stock lever does. It's just gonna be a little bit longer and quite a bit prettier. So to give you a better idea of what this is gonna gain us, I'll line up the back half of this with the shaft that comes out of the motor. And as you can see, we're definitely gonna gain a decent amount of room there. I don't think that'll be too much, but I guess all we can really do is install it and take it out for a ride and see how it feels. Removal of the old one is super easy. There's just a bolt on top that we've got to turn loose. I believe we do have to actually pull this all the way out because there's a slot in the shaft that won't let this pass all the way off otherwise. There it is. And just like any spline, I'm gonna throw a little bit of grease on it just to keep it from rusting. Remove my bolt from the new Tusk lever. I've already got that preloaded with some blue Loctite. And just kind of eyeball this at first to see where I think I'm gonna want it. Maybe just a touch higher than that. If that's the case, just rotate it up a little bit, line it back up, slide it on, and take a look. I think that might work. One thing that I will highlight with this extended lever that I've kind of always been a bit nervous about is that it's no longer really gonna fit in this cutaway that Kawasaki provides for the stock lever. Obviously this should have been moved in a bit or something should have been done differently, but with this longer lever now, you do have a slightly better chance of marring up your case. However, if you were to go down in a crash, this should be something you check anyways, regardless of whether you have the short or longer lever on here. Even if you have the shorter one, you could still bend it in far enough to scratch this up. So if you go down in a crash, just make sure this isn't rubbing on anything and you should be just fine. Let's see how that feels to the old size 10 here. Much, much better. So then I'll just fish this in here one way or another. Oh yeah, that looks nice on there. Before we hit the road, I'm actually gonna throw this Tusk foam bar pad on as well. This area has always seemed kind of empty and awkward to me. So I think having this on here will not only dress it up a bit, but also possibly save me from bashing my face or something else on this bar. Much better. So I've been out a couple times already now with this lever, and I've got to say, I mean, it probably only took 3 or 4 shifts before I realized that this is definitely something that somebody with a Gen 1 or Gen 2 should probably pick up. Back when I had my Gen 2, I did end up with a set of lowering peg brackets, which worked well, but honestly, I mean, this is so much less expensive that unless you're looking for that extra cockpit room, I don't really see the need to go with that. Now, if you've got a Gen 3 like I do, and you don't really like the fact that the foot peg brackets are rubber isolated and kind of squished down like sad dog ears when you try to stand up and get a good grip on the bike, you'll still probably want to do something as far as a stiffer peg bracket, and for me anyways, definitely a stiffer, wider, more solid peg. If you're somebody that doesn't really do any standing up when you ride, and I did have somebody comment and say that, then I mean this probably is going to solve all your problems on a Gen 3 if all you're looking for is a little bit more space. Like I've said probably a million times now, make sure and check that if you do go down, ensure that didn't get bent in and is marring up your case as you're shifting. But other than that, I think you guys are really going to appreciate this thing like I do. This makes this bike so much so much nicer to ride, and it just feels like it's supposed to. It feels like you would expect a shift lever to feel. There will be a link down in the description. If you use that link, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but Rocky Mountain ATV MC does send a little bit back my way. So somebody else asked me if the bolt acted as sort of a retaining clip if that bolt was to loosen up, and that's how the stock shift lever worked. And honestly, I wasn't sure because when I installed it, I just assumed that it was going to work that way, so I didn't even check. I just took the bolt all the way out before I installed it. But today, before I hopped on the bike, I did loosen it up and try to pull it off, and then pulled the whole thing off to check after completely removing the bolt, and it does look like it's set up the same way that the OEM shift lever is, where even if that thing cracks itself loose, it cannot come off unless the bolt completely comes out, which is super nice. Oh my gosh, look at all those deer. I'm sure you guys can't see them. About 15 of them. And actually, the first time that I went to take the shift lever off of my Gen 2, I found it with the bolt loose, so not a bad idea to check that right now on your KLRs at home, and maybe put a little bit of blue Loctite on it as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, hopefully this video was helpful to you. Give it a like if it was. Let me know down in the comment box below what you think of it, and if you've got one of these on your bike, and if you also think it's worth picking up, or if you think it's not. Let us know down in the comment box below. Holy gravel. Or sand, I suppose. Some of this I think might be salt. It did snow already here, and it's like 31 degrees. Oh well, still feels good to get out. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out, enjoy this beautiful world if you can. If you can't, because it's a little bit too cold to ride by you, then hey, check out some more videos here, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, click the bell after you subscribe, so lets you know anytime I put a video out. Still got quite a bit of content to put out yet this year, and we'll probably be working on the bikes all winter, because I've got a lot of parts sitting around that I need to install yet. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. I sure am. I've let this go on way too long. I already said take care, stay safe, stay swanky, so